Here I am, sitting in a chair.
Here I am.
I don't sing.
What's I can't even remember the words.
Rock Me Like a Hurricane?
Yeah.
Do the William Shatner version. Here I am, rock me like a hurricane.
It's probably louder when he does it, right?
Yes, well, I'm sure he's not. Here I am, rock me like a hurricane.
Do you know Ben Folds?
Yes, as a fact, I was listening to Ben Folds on the way in.
Amazing. I love Ben Folds. I
Very
love
good.
his collaborations with William Shatner.
I have not seen any of those.
I believe they met. No, they collaborated in the 90s on like a weird. It was called something pop, like Fear in Pop or something. Ben Folds did like a solo project. He barely even put his name on it.
Really?
And Shatner just appears doing voice stuff like he normally does. And then in Over the Hedge, the movie, Shatner is voicing that, and Ben Folds did the music for that.
Oh, I did not know
And
that.
then recently, they've released like a full album of William Shatner doing like his voice pieces,
Goes to show what I know about Ben Folds.
and Ben Folds is like doing the backup music for Shatner.
He's a great musician. I've seen him live.
I've not seen him live. That's
It's a
exciting.
good show. It's like a piano concert more than like a. I mean, most concerts I go to are like standing room, right? Maybe there's some seating, but you're like in a big area with everybody standing around.
I don't
His was
like
in, like, a
standing
theater.
at concerts.
We got to dance.
I don't like dancing at concerts either.
I like to dance. One of the things that I really liked moving up here was, down in South Carolina, first of all, if I wanted to go to a concert, I probably had to go to Atlanta, which was 4 hours away. Maybe Charleston if we were lucky, but that was 3 hours away. So like a concert was like, an overnight event.
Sure. Whereas
Here-
now you got Chicago just right there.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. It comes like if I like a band and they're on tour, they will be here at some point.
I have a friend in North Dakota, hour and a half from the nearest Walmart.
Yeah, that's even crazier than where I was. We were a little more populated than that. But the difference though is that when I go see shows here, people dance. Like in South
Yeah.
Carolina and like when I would go to shows in Atlanta or Charleston, it was always just like 100 people in a room, just like no movement, no energy, and I'm sitting there.
Was that like an enjoyable time for them?
I mean, I'm sure they enjoyed it. They paid to go to it.
Yeah.
The concerts were attended,
See, I if I go to a concert, my comfort position is this position,
which is fine.
and none of them do that.
Well, I mean, Ben Folds does. So go to Ben Folds.
He has some sitting. There's like sitting area.
It's all exclusively. I mean, I don't know if that's how all his
Oh, I
concerts
thought you just
are.
said it was standing room.
No, that's what I was saying. Is Ben Folds? It's typically standing room, but when I went to Ben Folds, it was only seating.
Oh,
It was like a
Ben
piano-
Folds was a seating.
Yeah.
because it's like a concert more than.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a concert. Like it feels. I feel like it's like a traditional almost concert. Like
Yeah, it's like a piano recital or
Yeah,
whatever, where
yeah.
he's on stage. It was at a theater, and he was on stage at his piano, and everybody was just like in the audience of a standard proscenium theater,
yeah.
and you just sat there and listened to it, which was fine. But I also was like, maybe I could dance a little bit. But up here, people dance like
You
crazy.
could dance
They
at the
go nuts.
concert.
Do a little seat dance.
Yeah, like no, I like stand up, stand on the seat.
I don't know if they allow you to stand on the seat.
I want to see you like just
I could do that. You know,
shaking your butt.
I
like,
need at least
a
one
Ben
other
Folds
person,
song.
like one other
Sure.
person to be dancing, especially
Yeah.
if there's seats, because then everyone's
Does Colleen like
"Sit
to go to
down."
concerts?
She loves concerts more than I do, but she
Yeah.
also does not dance.
She doesn't dance.
No, but she also listens to like Midwest emo type music,
Okay.
which the dancing to that is mostly like standing there and like doing this with your head,
Sure.
like, nodding along. There's
Yeah.
not like maybe
like
if it
early
gets,
2000s stuff.
I mean, there's still
Or
bands out there that she listens to that are still playing now. I don't know when they started, but yeah, I mean, like, well, she runs the gamut, so it's a lot of pop punk, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so that's all, from the '90s was sort of the dawn of pop punk, and then transitioned into emo in the aughts or late '90s somewhere, and now Midwest emo in particular has its own kind of subgenre in there, which is
Yeah.
like typical emo music is it's emotional, right? That's why it's called emo. But it's more poppy, Midwest emo is a little bit more like grungy with
Sure.
its sound.
But it's not grunge.
It is not grunge. No. She listens to a band called Hot Mulligan.
I don't know that.
The Front Bottoms. They're all. I mean, I
I
describe
listen
it.
to Ben Folds. So I feel like this is a different vibe.
Yeah. Well, it is. It is a very different vibe, and it's also not my thing really either.
Sure.
I describe it as music that sounds like bad music, like it's intentionally like atonal and discordant.
Do you know Courtney Barnett?
No.
She's an English like folk rock musician. But she's like extremely like dry in her delivery.
Really?
Some people would call her monotone even. But she'll do
Like
that
Cake.
while shredding a guitar.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So she'll sit there in like complete stillness and shred a guitar and then just like sing in this monotone voice and occasionally scream.
Actually, I could be into
And
that.
I love Courtney Barnett.
Yeah. No. So, like, my musical knowledge is very limited. I knew nothing before I met my wife,
Okay.
and then she introduced me to a bunch of music, and I've got my own taste now, and I listen to my own music. But like, what I what I actually know, even about the bands that I like,
Yeah.
is almost nothing. I'm like, the songs sound nice. I put them on when I'm in my car, mowing my lawn.
Yeah. Like, and you won't even know what it is sometimes?
So I mean, because of Spotify now, I do, right? Because like you can always look at it, so you know who they are, and like,
Yeah.
I have made an effort to like say,
But with radio, you wouldn't know what you're listening to half the time.
right?
Unless you're really paying attention.
Yeah, and I never like go to do the research. Like I'm
Yeah.
not like, oh, I like that song. Let me go find out who.
I'm
that
like
is.
a music loyalist. Once I get into a band, I'll listen to everything they've ever released, and I'll find all their solo projects and bands. Like Judah and the Lion is a great band who has like 1 million listeners on Spotify a month, but their solo projects have like 500 listeners a month.
Okay.
And that's how a lot of these bands they know the music to hit the mainstream,
Right.
but they have these passion projects that they also
Besides
want to
these,
do,
yeah.
and then inevitably they don't do well. But their first one's doing well, so they can do both.
Yeah, well, they have the permission and the
Yeah.
space to do that.
And if they
stuff.
released that music on their solo like label or whatever, then it would just hurt their revenue
yeah,
on their main stuff,
yeah, no,
which
that
is
makes
which is
sense.
upsetting to me.
Well, that's how it goes, though. I mean, it's like a least common denominator type thing with
Yeah.
popularity. You know, it's like everybody likes white bread. You know, it's safe and it's easy and
Sure.
it doesn't, make anyone uncomfortable. And then
What's the bread with all the nuts and the?
there's a lot of different
Like,
breads with
like-
nuts.
I like the one where it's like basically just like bread made from nuts,
Just a pile of nuts.
stuck together.
And you just glue them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Max.
Hi, I'm Max.
Max Saunders is our guest today. Max is an actor, and I don't know. Do you like if people ask you what you do? I feel like you don't say you're an actor.
No, when I was younger, I did. When I thought
Yeah.
maybe I might have a chance of becoming a professional actor, but now I say I design architectural millwork.
So Max is an
That's
actor.
not why I'm here.
Max is an actor
I'm a creative person.
who I have roped into Silverstage over the last several months. I only met you a few months ago.
That's true.
And then you joined Silverstage for A Doll's House. Actually, first you joined Silverstage for the production we're doing right now,
That's true. Yep.
which I should bring up is we're doing a production called Betrayal by Harold Pinter, directed by Jake Heeline, who has been on the podcast, and he was in It's a Wonderful Life that Silverstage performed. He directed No Exit with Silverstage. So Jake Heeline is knee deep in Silverstage lore. Jake is, and Max auditioned for our show Betrayal.
Yep.
And joined on, and that production performs in 1 month, February 13th through 21st.
Better start working on my lines.
Who are you playing in Betrayal?
I am playing Jerry, who is a jerk. No, he is. I don't want to say no, he's not, because he is. And he, frankly, I have a hard time finding positive qualities for Jerry.
Sure.
But that's this show is not about positive things.
Yeah.
It's a lighthearted romp through the topic of adultery. So.
Yes, Betrayal tells the story of essentially a British love triangle of sorts, but not like a love triangle of will they, won't they, and who will they choose. More of a love triangle of like these are full-grown adults in England in the 1970s.
Not children.
And there's betrayal all over the place in various different ways. This tackles the topics of adultery, but it's also done in the Harold Pinter classic dry sense of humor and drama that I'm quite addicted to at this point. And Stephen Pickering is partially to blame for my new obsession with Harold Pinter.
Well, the thing that about this play that really gets me excited, the thing that I really like about it the most is the very unapologetic and bold-faced exploration of the human psychology of like selfishness to a certain degree. How people can act and do things from different perspectives, and everyone is like, a lot of plays have try to explore the positive sides of the human condition and show how people can rise above and how people can overcome things. Betrayal takes a much bleaker look at the human condition and how people can continue to fail and make poor decisions and really pay the price for those decisions and never get any better. And
strangely enough, though, I don't think it's a play that like isolates the audience where they can't relate to them.
Well, that's the thing about it, is that because it is such an honest exposition of that thing, everybody has that in them. Like, it's not something that's like, oh, some people are like this. No, everybody is like this to a greater or lesser degree. You as a human it is your job, right, to overcome these baser things and to like examine and identify them within yourself, which is what, to me, a play like this is very like, it's why it exists, right? It's what it is, what it's good for. When you go to see this show, it's not just like, oh, this these terrible people, how awful. It's, you see a bit of yourself in them, and then you start to think, oh, wow.
Probably seeing a bit of yourself in each of them at various points, depending on which scene you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, everybody has, because they're each in this situation, they're each viewing it from a different perspective, from their own experience and who they are, right? And they're each reacting to it in their own individual ways and making choices based on that. And so you can... Nobody in this play does things that I myself am like, wow, why would they do that? It doesn't make sense. I understand all of the choices that they make. And so if you can see them and understand, why they do what they do, then you can start to look at that behavior in yourself and those thought processes that might emerge in your own mind, and hopefully say, oh, don't be like Jerry.
Is that hard as an actor to dive into that?
To dive into just
the
like
space and having to perform that.
So yeah. This show is heavy.
Yeah,
it's not easy. It's not easy to inhabit those things over and over and over again, right? It's easier to do a show, and I don't want to say easier because each show has its own challenges, right? But it's less emotionally taxing to do a show like I just did Arsenic and Old Lace. Playing Jonathan in that show had its own challenges. It was more about comedic timing. It was more about playing a larger-than-life character that had to sort of bring a certain energy to the stage.
A clean-shaven character, too.
Never doing that again. Oh, wow. I hated the way I looked.
I asked Max to do a pencil stash in our last show. You gave a very quick no, which I appreciated because it meant I wasn't wondering what we were doing.
No, I was absolutely not. No, I mean, I haven't shaved since before that show for, I mean, I did it the last time I shaved for a play. I was maybe 23.
Jeez.
And I am going to be 42 this month. So it was like 2 decades ago. And I didn't have all the facial hair I have now. Like back then, I used to just have a goatee. And I did a play where I grew a mustache and then I shaved everything else and just did the mustache. Not a great look either. But I have had a beard since then.
Yeah.
And so part of when Jay asked me to shave for Arsenic and Old Lace, part of the reason I agreed because I was just sort of morbidly curious as to what my face looked like. I was like, well, let's see, like, what do I look like 20 years later?
Yeah, you were given a reason to, so might as well try.
And I hated what I saw.
And then you tried and you regretted and
Cover
you moved
it
on.
back up. Put it back on.
I feel that I think I look different with facial hair and with my hair, whether I'm wearing glasses. I think I change my look every couple months of my life, which I quite enjoy.
I change quite a bit based on what's going on with my hair.
Oh, sure.
Like,
have you ever had like long like locks?
Well, like down to here.
Okay.
Again, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Haven't done that in a couple of decades. I got a picture actually with Colleen, and we were both, I don't know, I was maybe 19 or so.
When the heck did you guys get together?
I met her when I was 18.
Okay.
I came up. It's a very interesting story. You want to hear a story about fate? This is
Sure.
a fated lovers story. So.
Okay.
I went to the Governor's School of the Arts in Greenville, which is a boarding arts high school. Audition-based acceptance. They train at a very high level. They have high expectations. I'm the least successful person in my class. But when we were in our senior year, you went to college for acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you had the same experience or if you had like one college you specifically wanted to go to. But if you apply to a bunch of different colleges for acting, you have to go audition for them. Yeah. Which can involve traveling all around the country. Yeah. And they'll all come together in one place so you can do all your auditions at once. So they do that in Chicago.
You're not talking about the URDAs, are you?
I don't know what that is.
The URDAs do that, where colleges from all over the world come to one spot and you audition for all of them.
Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know if that's what it was called.
That's what I did for post-grad.
This was, of course, 20 years ago, so I don't know if they've changed the name or whatever. We called it the Unified Auditions when we were doing it.
I couldn't even tell you what the URDAs stands for, but I did that during COVID and did a Zoom audition. Oh, nice. For about 40 different colleges. Really? Some of them were from Wales, and some of them were there was colleges from all over the world. Most people don't get to do that on Zoom. Yeah. So I cheated the system. I didn't cheat the system. Like the system allowed everybody to cheat right. So I had the easiest time getting into post-grad ever. Not that tons asked me to come. Right. But
if you have enough,
4 callbacks led to 1 acceptance out of 40-something schools.
Yeah, well, if that's, if you're able to get it all out there in one shot, that's great. Unless that one shot sucks.
You did that, though, in 20 years ago?
So, yes, not on Zoom, but they all went, it was in Chicago, actually. They all, I don't know how many, tons of colleges all came together in a hotel in Chicago. And you have to have previously applied to these schools. You go up there, the schools that you applied to are there. You have your audition scheduled, and then over the course of a weekend, you audition for all your schools all at once. So I had 3 schools I wanted to get into: SUNY Purchase, California Institute of the Arts, and Rutgers. And so I did all those auditions. But one of the things our teachers told us was, hey, while you're up here, some of these schools allow walk-in auditions. So even if you don't want to go to that school, you should do some walk-in auditions where you're here to sort of get the nerves out, get a little practice, whatnot. And I was a big slacker. I still am. And so I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to chill out. It's crazy. But one of my classmates went to one, and it was Northern Illinois University. And he came back afterwards, and he was like, hey, I just did a walk-in audition with these people. They actually workshopped my monologue with me. They didn't just listen to it and boot me out. Okay. So it was a really useful experience for me because I got a different perspective on my monologue. So I was like, all right, well, if that's, if they're going to do that, sure, I'll do that. So I went there, did my did my audition or whatever, left. And you're supposed to like fill out an application while you're there so that they can like decide if they want you to go. But I didn't even do that because I was like, I'm not going to go to this school. I don't have any interest. My point of view at that point was if I don't get into the schools I want to get into, I'm not going to college because I'm an actor.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go to college to do that. You can just act. And so I didn't fill out my audition or the application. And then we left, and I didn't get into any of my colleges.
Okay.
I was not a good student. I'm pretty sure I should not have asked my teachers for recommendations because I think they wrote a lot of stuff in there that was like, no, don't take this guy. Either that or my audition sucked. Whatever. Either way, I didn't get into any of those. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to college. But then that summer, I got a phone call from NIU, and they were like, hey, are you the Max Saunders that auditioned for us?
He's the Max Saunders.
Max Saunders.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I am. They're like, well, we'd like you to come to our school. And I said, well, I don't really want to.
Was this one of the walk-out?
Yeah, this was NIU up
Okay.
here, Northern Illinois University.
Which wasn't one of the schools you wanted to go to.
Was the schools I wanted to had written me off.
Right.
They did not care. And so I was like, I don't think I want to do that. And they're like, well, what can we do to get you to come? And I was like, well, I'm not going to pay. So if I can come for free, I'll come. And they gave me a full ride to go.
Jeez.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
But NIU is not known as an acting school.
Right.
It has an okay program, but it's not like a great program. Dan Castellania went there. Homer Simpson?
Never seen The Simpsons.
You've never seen The Simpsons?
Never seen The Simpsons.
That's wild.
I have a friend who's also in SpongeBob. Never seen SpongeBob.
Well,
I'm an uncultured swine, as it were.
It's very disappointing. I got to go, actually.
Sure, yeah.
No, so I went up to NIU, and I started going to school there, and that is where I met Colleen. She was not going to school there. I had a major ego problem at that point in time in my life.
Okay.
I don't have that anymore, clearly.
Right.
Definitely don't. And I had pretty much everybody that I met hated me because I was such an egotistical like jerk. But I did meet one girl on my dorm who was like super chill hippie chick, and we just hung out and did wholesome activities all the time.
Yeah.
And
this wasn't Colleen.
This was not Colleen, but it was Colleen's best friend
Okay.
from high school, an ex-girlfriend. And she's like kept talking about Colleen and was like, I want you to meet. I want to meet her. And I was like, okay, I mean, whatever, fine. And then finally, like, we did meet, and I wasn't into her. I was like, her friend, like, after like hanging out for a while, came up to me and was like, hey, Colleen's into you. You know, you want me to like set up some time so you guys can be alone? I was like, not really, no, no, thank you. But eventually we did just spend some time alone, and I talked to her, and I really liked her. Like, having a conversation was very interesting.
Yeah, it changed things.
It changed my whole perspective on her. And then I just from that point on spent like every weekend hanging out with her. And she was making poor decisions with her life at the time. I was also making poor decisions with my life at the time. So we went together really well.
Yeah.
And after about 3 months, I dropped out of college.
You dropped out of college 3 months in?
Well, 3 months after meeting her. So like it was my second semester. So it was like 7 months in. I did not make it very far.
Yeah.
And then
did you do shows in that 7 months?
One of the reasons I dropped out was because I got kicked out of the show that I was in because I failed my speech class because I was so mad about having to take a speech class that I didn't go to it.
Okay, and then they kicked you out of theater?
Well, apparently in their rules, if you fail like a general education class, you can't be in a show. And so that happened, and then they were like, yo, we got to kick you out of the show. And I was like,
what show was it?
Madame Bovary. It's by Gustave Flaubert, and it is about it's mostly about the pitfalls of borrowing money.
Okay.
It's set in the I don't know, I think it's the French set in maybe the 1800s, and it's about a woman and a man who are young newlyweds, and they move into a house, and the man's like always off working, and the woman meets this money lender, and she like wants to buy nice things for the house, and so like they don't have the money for it, but the lender's like, I'll lend you the money. And she's like, great. And she's like, she doesn't understand how it works, I guess.
Sure.
And so she just keeps borrowing money and borrowing money and borrowing money to buy all these things for the house, and more and more and more and more things. And then her husband starts to get upset with her about it. And like, he's like, hey, we're in tons of debt. And then like,
Sounds like a thrilling show.
And then he like leaves her, and she keeps borrowing money and gets with somebody else and cheats on him with like a younger guy. And her whole life just like goes to pot. Frankly, I did not enjoy the book. But I was just excited to be involved in the show.
Yeah. First college show didn't work out. And
I mean,
that
probably would have. Well, I was also very irresponsible. I didn't really like the program.
Yeah.
And I met a super cool girl who I'd rather hang out with than go to class.
Okay.
So I did that, and then I ditched the last half of my second semester, brought Colleen back to South Carolina with me. We've been together ever since.
Crazy.
So like,
did you keep acting?
Yeah, I started a theater company down there.
Okay.
With a bunch of other
people
I knew.
I did know about this.
Called Stage 2 Productions. We did 4 or 5 shows, maybe 6, and then that imploded because it was a theater company by a committee of 8 early 20s actors.
Fantastic setup. There's no head of any kind?
There was so the idea was that we were all equals, but there was one guy that was the head, who was an older guy who was our director, and
he wasn't one of the 8.
He wasn't one. Well, he was one of the. I don't know if it was exactly. It was 8-ish. He was one of the 8.
Okay.
But he also had the most experience, and he directed the shows, and we all acted in them.
Gotcha.
And so we sort of like bent to him.
Yeah.
Mostly.
But also simultaneously, y'all were saying that you each had power and you each had a say in things.
Yes, exactly. And it was supposed to be the same say, and also it was 8 actors producing theater, so like all the other aspects of producing a show we had to learn as we went.
Sure.
With greater or lesser,
just figuring out how to make theater,
building scenery, doing lights. Like we all had some experience with that stuff, but not like
it wasn't your
enough.
go-to.
Yeah. We did pretty good, frankly, for our limited experience. I think that we made some great sets and put on some really good shows. But it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
And we made money. I mean, we didn't like pay ourselves, but we started the whole thing by everybody putting in $50 to. So I think it was 10 because it started off at $500. Everybody put in $50. We had $500 to produce our first show.
Yeah.
And we used that $500 to produce the first show. We also spent a little more out of our pocket, and we kept track of it, so that when we got ticket sales, we could reimburse.
Like $500 goes to like venue alone.
So we were renting out the black box at the high school, which cost $50 a night for performance.
Okay.
And they allowed us to rehearse and build our set in there for free.
Yeah.
So we had a really nice deal.
That's cool.
And so yeah, we did. I mean, I think we did a 2 or 3 week run, and we would do maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So, that's $600 maybe. So yeah, we had to spend more than that. But like the idea was that we each at least put in $50.
And you found a way for the rest of the show to not cost anything.
It didn't. Yeah. So after that first show, we had in our little kitty.
No, I mean like sets and costumes and tech or any of that stuff. Like finding out like zero budget ways to do all that.
Yeah, well, not zero budget, but so like I said, we put in all that money, and then in the first show, everybody spent a little bit more out of their pocket for those things, and then paid ourselves back out of ticket sales. But then we made enough money after that to have a couple $1,000s in our kitty, and we could use that. Also, this was again in the early
74
aughts.
years ago.
Yes, it was in the 1800s where things cost
which is
3
74
blueberries.
years ago, by the way.
1800s was exactly 74 years ago. It was the beginning of the 1800s.
Great. This was during the Regency era.
Mm-hmm.
That you were running a theater company.
They called it the Gilded Age. My knowledge of history.
I think it's
is
just
immense.
a TV show.
The Gilded Age was a.
Oh, no, it was also an age.
Oh,
I'm just.
I don't know the TV show.
Ah.
The Regency era. I don't know the Regency Hotel.
Haven't seen it.
No.
Been distracted by Bridgerton.
All my shows are up right now. I don't really have anything.
They're up, like they're finished.
Yeah, they're all like we've.
You're not watching anything.
Well, I mean, we're watching Stranger Things, and I'm kind of like.
You haven't finished it.
I have had a hard time finishing it because it's like the shows are like each episode is over an hour.
Yeah.
And I get home from the gym at like 7:30 and have to make dinner and take a shower and go to bed.
No.
So like watching a longer show, I don't have time for that during the week. And then somebody's got me busy on the weekends.
So let's go back to Betrayal.
Betrayal, yes.
Betrayal, you're playing this insufferable character.
Mm-hmm.
I joke about
Not typecast.
this show should have a sequel, and it's just a one-man monologue of Jerry. It's just the most insufferable monologue you've ever heard in your life.
Or just Jerry getting the snot beaten out of him.
Sure, yeah.
For an hour on stage.
Yeah, and the audience cheering for the full hour.
Cheering.
That said, all three characters are fairly insufferable in different ways.
Yeah.
Which makes for great theater, especially when you have a great cast. So Max's co-stars are great cast, and they have to put up with Max, unfortunately.
Yep.
But
charity case.
at the very least, his co-stars are great.
Two good actors, and then this guy.
Stephen Pickering and Marissa Snook are Max's co-stars, and Stephen pitched the show originally to me. I brought on Jake as our director, and we suddenly had ourselves a team. And we brought Marissa on next. We brought, around that same time that Marissa was coming in, I joined Jake in as a stage manager for the show. So I produce all of Silverstage's shows. But I joined in as the stage manager because I wanted to be more involved with this one than some shows, but I knew I didn't want to perform in this one. I have I'll have a small little cameo for about like 3 minutes of this show. Which
The only person that Jerry's nice to in the whole show.
Sure. Yeah. He loves you.
Yep.
And then Max, you joined, and we didn't jump into rehearsals, but we had a full core group. Mm-hmm. And then I asked you to be in Doll's House.
Correct.
I believe that's the timeline. Is right after you joined Betrayal officially. Then I asked you, hey, so before we do Betrayal in February,
let's do something else.
We're doing a December radio play called A Doll's House. I adapted the script of A Doll's House by Henry Gibson into a Doll's House, a live radio play. Had this character that I knew I also wanted to play the host of like a radio event. So we brought on Max. I had never seen you do a radio voice, but
you just knew I was sleazy.
I knew you were sleazy. It's my only experiences of you. Still have been my only experiences of you.
There's no other experiences to be had.
Do you feel that the Doll's House character was sleazy?
No, Dr. Rank was not sleazy.
But the host?
The host was sleazy.
The host was sleazy?
He was sleazy.
I guess I saw him as more like a big ego kind of like actor, like stage actor kind of ego kind of guy. I don't know if I view him as sleazy.
Well, I mean, to me, that sort of lounge lizardy radio personality comes with a certain amount of sleaze.
Sure,
it's just as like a base level. Like
there's like an undercurrent of it for sure.
Yeah, there's hints of it. So I mean, he obviously there was no lines or activity that were directly sleazy, but the attitude I had a certain amount of sleaze built into.
You didn't know you were playing that character?
No,
when
in
you
fact,
came in.
When we started, you weren't even sure you were going to do it.
I had the idea from the start. I didn't know if we were going to do it.
Yeah, you asked me if I would do it. I said yes, and you're like, okay, well, I'm thinking about what we're going to do and whether we're even going to do it. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, I also don't want to cast someone and promise them more than they're actually end up going to do.
Sure.
Like I'd rather start at a baseline that I can actually guarantee somebody and then add more. Than do a reverse. Because in the reverse situation, I ask you to join a show, say, here's your several roles, And then 2 weeks later, after you've said yes, I say, by the way, I've cut half your lines out.
You get 2 lines.
You get 2 lines.
And you have to stand behind a cardboard box.
And if you break contract, I sue.
Yes.
We have such rigid contracts here at Silverstage.
I have nothing, though, so I wasn't worried.
You have nothing of what?
I own nothing.
Okay.
I'm a pauper.
You're a pauper now.
Yep. Just a hobo.
Great.
Homeless guy.
That's how I feel running this company.
Yeah.
Soon I'll be a pauper.
That's how it goes.
This is so Doll's House was our 5th show, and now Betrayal. What's it like doing 2 back-to-back shows for some random company where you don't know anybody?
Terrible.
Great.
I mean, they've both been very fun experiences. I do very much have very much enjoyed both of them. In Doll's House, I did know Gianna and Nathan from previous show, and I'm friendly with both of them. So that that was a good experience. I'm excited to work with Steven and Marissa because I'd seen them in other things. So I was looking forward to acting alongside of them, and both of them were fairly small. Relaxed atmosphere, all of that's very nice. So I did enjoy that.
What was the relaxed atmosphere?
Just the atmosphere was relaxed.
Oh, the shows.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
cool.
at rehearsals and whatnot. Like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody works hard and puts in their effort, but it didn't feel like,
yeah,
a job. And I just came off of Arsenic and Old Lace at McHenry County College. So like there has not really been a break.
Right.
Since
you were supposed to have a break.
I was
until Doll's House happened.
You screwed that up. So thanks.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, no, it's mostly my wife you have to apologize to because she hates me now.
I'm so sorry. I know you're watching.
So I've enjoyed them both. I am looking forward to not doing a show after this one, although I did just sign up for another audition because I'm stupid. Theater is a hole you throw money and time into.
Well, I'm sorry to say, for your sake, we have already cast our next show after Betrayal. So unfortunately, I can't get you in just right away.
That would have been great, but I'm really looking forward to doing even
it's
more
not.
shows.
At least you're not driving an hour.
No, I mean, and I wouldn't join a show where I had to drive an hour.
Every single show that Silverstage has done has had at least one person who is doing an hour to like hour and 45 minutes commute. Yeah, which is crazy.
Nathan's all the way out there in Rockford. So
Nathan's in Rockford. Nathan was our co-director for Doll's House, and Jackie Shiro was our featured soloist in Doll's House. She was coming from like over an hour away. Much Ado About Nothing. The 2 main female leads were both taking the train in from Chicago, which was lovely. Wow. And our villain in Much Ado About Nothing was a friend of mine that came in at the very last minute and played Don John. He was coming in from Chicago as well. He was taking the train in, which I don't know why. I mean, I think for him he told me he owed me, which I don't remember. I'm like, hey, I'll take it. I don't remember you owing me something. Okay. I didn't want to jinx it and say like, no, you don't.
You absolutely
like,
do.
Oh, I don't.
You don't know how much.
Yeah. Fun fact: in Much Ado, I kind of wanted to. Actually, I have to interrupt ourselves here. Because we have a special guest completely planned to be part of the podcast. Mm-hmm. Jake Heline,
the real
our director of Betrayal. Jake, can you step into frame for just a second?
Is this frame?
It might be. It might be.
I was told yesterday it was okay if I had to walk in.
Fantastic. Jake's just doing work for the show. Look at that man.
Can I ask Jake a question even though he's all the way over there?
Yeah, they're not going to be able to hear him.
All right, Jake. I noticed that you oftentimes wear all the same color. Is that on purpose?
It is.
Yes. Shout it. It is, he said.
Yes.
I like that.
I was inspired by a book that I read when I was younger. It was like A to Z Mysteries.
He said he's inspired by a book that he read when he was younger.
One character always dressed in monochrome. And I was like, that's what I want my vibe to be as an adult.
Monochrome is fun.
Yeah, I love monochrome.
I thought monochrome for years was just grayscale,
Oh,
which I guess some people say that is what monochrome is, or that it has multiple meanings. But I thought people were being stupid when they said that monochrome referred to like all red. I'm like, that's not monochrome. There's no gray.
it's one chrome,
It's one chrome.
a single chrome.
It's a singular chrome. Grayscale in some ways is not monochrome.
Yes, because it's multiple
Yeah,
chromes.
it's multiple. Yeah.
Multi-chrome.
So I think monochrome is the wrong word for grayscale. I think we should just use the word grayscale.
Yeah, I think that is the word, actually, grayscale.
I quite like the word grayscale.
I'd like to use the word multi-chrome in more
Multi-chrome.
settings. I feel like it's a word that I
we're-
just coined.
We're wearing multichrome right now.
I dress multi-chrome.
You dress with the same sweatshirt quite often.
I have 3 sweatshirts. So they're on rotation, and my philosophy on pants and sweatshirts is you can wear them all week long.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not the same way. I'm saying yeah, but that's to
But I
affirm.
firmly
that's to affirm
disagree.
you.
Yes, you're gross. Look, I change the things underneath those garments.
Yeah.
But unless I spill something on them or I do something like really physical where I'm sweating like crazy, like they just save money on the laundry.
Sure. I have laundry going right now. Actually, if we could just cut this off right now,
Go do some
and so I
laundry.
can do some laundry,
Yeah, go
that'd be
for it.
great.
More interesting, I think, than what's happening here.
If you want to just finish the rest of the podcast,
Yeah, how much time do I have to fill up?
like a couple hours.
A couple hours? I got a couple
Yeah.
hours. I can talk for hours and hours.
Content. That is incredible content.
I'll talk about my plans for my next D&D campaign.
We do have a shared love of D&D.
We do, yes.
You've been playing D&D a good bit longer than I have. I'm running on 3-4 years of
Yes.
this
I'm on
Dungeons
13
and Dragons
years, yes.
for any layman.
Tabletop role-playing games, because I don't necessarily like... I play Dungeons and Dragons because I don't want to spend the time to learn other systems.
Sure.
But also, I have beef with Hasbro.
Is Dungeons and Dragons Hasbro?
It's owned by Hasbro, yep.
Since when? Since always?
Not always. No, it used to be OSR, I believe, back in the 70s, 80s, and then it was bought by Wizards of the Coast in maybe the 80s or early 90s.
Is Wizards of the Coast Hasbro?
Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro.
Man, every single organization under every area has just been monopolized.
There's like 5 companies that own everything.
Yeah.
That's the world we live
I mean, you look at cinema now today, and it's like everything is under the same several distributors. Netflix buying Warner Brothers is insane. What was it, $80 billion, I think it was?
It's crazy to think about when Netflix came out, how much of an underdog they were.
Sure, yeah, it was just DVD rentals.
Yep, I was renting. I did the DVD Netflix rentals.
You ruined the world.
I did. I'm part of the reason that we have global warming.
You know, Ted Sarandos, the Netflix like CEO or whatever, he recently said that the world doesn't want movie theaters. And it doesn't matter how much they say they want movie theaters, because if they don't go and they just watch Netflix and we're the ones succeeding, then that's them saying that they don't want to go to movie theaters. They would rather watch at home. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate you denying us saying that we want movie theaters. If you make it impossible for us to go see something in theaters, then we're gonna watch it at home. That's one layer to it, is what I'm saying.
Well, what we have right now, I think more so than probably any other era in human history, is an intense overabundance of media. There is so much to consume between movies and TV shows and video games. You have thousands of hours of different ways to sit at home and watch a digital media product, and it's very cheap and it's very easy and it's right there. It's that it's that least common denominator thing. You're like, yes, going to a movie in a theater is a better experience, undoubtedly.
Yeah, you're paying more for an experience.
It's big.
full
The sound quality is
experience.
better. They now have nice seats, but you got to leave your house.
Yeah.
And I've got 10,000 things right here at my fingertips that, like, I I have on backlog.
Yeah.
So why? And I know that thing in the theater is eventually going to become one of those things.
Yeah.
So it's the calculus is always so much more angled towards the easy thing. It's just
But it's not like movie theaters were always this big, grand, expensive thing.
no, and
They became this big, grand, expensive thing.
that's true, and some of them are still okay. Like classic cinemas in Woodstock or everywhere they are, their prices are still somewhat reasonable.
Yeah.
They're
If you go to their whatever Tuesday show day, it's like $7 or something.
yeah. You know, you go to other theaters like the major chains, you're paying $20 for a ticket. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So we go to that, and we're lucky enough to live close enough to the square that we
Right.
can just walk down there. So we do enjoy that. I've seen more movies now since moving right because it's so accessible, right?
When I was an undergrad, I had in Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is Dave Chappelle's like hometown.
Okay.
And he's just always hanging out there.
Oh.
And there's a single movie screen in Yellow Springs, Ohio, just called the Little Art Theater. It's a single screen. They just play one movie a week, and they just play it all week long. And it's really low cost, and like this is what I loved doing in college.
Sure.
I also didn't spend much time with other people, but I loved going to the Little Art Theater and just hang out with old people and sip wine in the back, and it was great. Watch Phantom Thread for 3 hours, or The Irishman, and regret my decisions that day.
It's a much more palpable experience doing something like
Yeah.
that than going to like Cinemark and having
Yeah.
this like mega theater. The corporate manicured experiences that are being served in so many places are so unpleasant and like anti-human. Right?
Yeah.
So when you find things like that in places like that when you go to them, you feel like you're with a community, you feel like you're part of people, you feel like the things that you're around are man-made and maybe a little dirty and like not the best quality. It feels like the human experience as opposed to this like extremely sanitized.
Why is New York so beloved? It's not because it's clean.
No. That's I mean,
Because it's the most human place in the country.
and I'm going straight back to white bread. You can title this episode "White Bread."
Great.
Because of us. No, because like when you like it's that manicured experience is safe and easy, and so it's lots of people go and experience it. I do it myself, right? But it's not what I like. It's just the easiest. But the things that I like are maybe not as accessible and not as liked by as many people.
Yeah.
So they might not get as big of an audience. You're not going to get as much money around it. You're not. It's harder.
Heck, look at theater.
Theater itself is one of those things.
This company started as, what projects do actors want to do that no one else is doing?
Right. That's great.
So, like, what's the best way to get some incredible talent in a very saturated industry? Is do the projects that the talent wants to do.
Yeah.
And pick well-beloved projects. We're not writing our own stuff. It's not like I wouldn't want to do that. I think part of me wants to like produce original material, and part of me wants to do these massive ensemble community theater casts. But I also need to fill a gap that's not already there. And a lot of those things are already there. So for this company, it's like Betrayal is not, I would say, white bread.
No, it's not. It is not a least common denominator experience. It is.
Right.
It is a very flavorful thing that a lot of people are not going to be into for one reason or another. Right? It's a very specific thing. So it's going to be one of those things that people are going to really enjoy, and some people are going to be like, this is not the kind of thing I want to go see, because they want to go to a big budget musical. They want to see the same 5 plays that get produced over and over and over and over and over again, because that's what everybody goes to see.
It's
So
not like those musicals are poorly done either. Some of them are incredible.
They can be done very well.
I don't want to do the same one
Yeah.
that is being done 8 times around me all year long. I picked a doll's house and decided to make a radio play out of it. And we crafted an experience for people because I really wanted to tell this story. And no, it's not going to bring in hundreds of people every night. It's gonna bring in less audiences. But it's also gonna be niche, and it's also gonna bring in people that want to see that material, or it's gonna bring in people who are curious, and we get to expose people to something that they haven't thought about. Betrayal will expose people to material that they have never seen before, which is cool. I mean, some people maybe are theater geeks and have read it or something, but for a general audience who is interested in this weird little show, it's gonna deliver on that, which I appreciate.
And it's another human-centric experience.
Yeah.
Where, one of the things for me, I got away from theater for years after attempting to do theater in Bluffton, South Carolina, which is not a very good place to try to create a theater career. Let me give you the warning. Don't do it. Bad idea. Not a whole lot of people down there or opportunities. And so I left it and I started building things, which is what I do as my career now. But when I moved up here, it took me a few years, but I realized that there's a huge theater community up here. It's absolutely enormous, and it's vibrant, and there's shows happening all over the place. And in every town, there's at least one, if not multiple, different little theater companies.
It's crazy.
All doing interesting little things.
And we're like an hour from Chicago.
Right. Well, and even in Chicago, you have the theater that's in there, and so you just get this huge amount of different live performances to go see. And so I've started going back to shows again for the first time in like 20 years, and I'm like, to me, I'm like, oh, what? I'm so upset that I missed out on this for so long, because it's such a better time. So I have a theory on fun.
Okay.
I'm going to go into my philosophy on fun.
Great.
There are 3 types of fun. Okay? Type 1 fun, type 2 fun, and type 3 fun.
Great. It's like basically diabetes.
Yes.
Like, which type do you have?
Everybody
how bad do you got it?
You want to have all 3 badly. You need a little bit of each.
Sure.
So type 1 fun is like candy. It is really easy. It's immediate satisfaction, but it's immediately gone too. So like playing a video game can be type 1 fun. Going out and like partying with your friends can be type 1 fun, right?
Yeah.
You do it, you enjoy it. When it's over, there's nothing that lasts. The enjoyment exists only in the moment where it's happening. Type 2 fun takes work. Type 2 fun are things like hobbies that people have, like hiking or like
reading books.
Reading books. Well, reading books depends. Can be either.
It could be type 1. But if you're trying to read something that's like the intention is for something to stick.
Yeah. Well, there's a blurring, right? There's like fringe areas. Yeah. But type 2 fun is usually something that like when it's over, you're generally kind of glad it's over because it took some effort and it was like a bit of a challenge. You enjoyed it while it was happening, but it also provides you with like an ongoing like level of satisfaction or happiness beyond that point. Like in the coming days or even weeks, the memory of doing it and the thought of doing it provides happiness like ongoing. And so to me, doing theater and seeing theater falls into that category where it's a challenge, it's work, but you feel good moving forward. Television is firmly type 1 fun. Even going to a movie in a theater is pretty much type 1 fun.
Hamnet.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about Hamnet.
I'm not familiar with Hamnet.
Broke my heart. Anyway.
Type 3 fun is, briefly, when you're doing something that isn't fun, but you have fun doing it anyway.
Sure.
It's like if you're at work and you're like, I got to be doing this, but it ends up being kind of fun.
Okay.
Great. Bonus.
So it's not an escalation.
It's not that one's better than the other or that one's more than the other. They're different. Like you can't just have type 2 fun because you'll get exhausted. Right. You need a break.
This King Lear script is not type 1 fun.
Sure.
This is type 2 fun, arguably type 3 fun.
Depending on what you're doing with it, right? What the point of reading is.
If you want to read some Shakespeare.
If you're doing it as a hobby, I would put it in type 2. If you are like if if you're at school or an English teacher or even in the production yourself, it could fall into type 3 because you're like, okay, I've got to do this because this is what I need to do. But I happen to enjoy myself. So yeah, if all of your obligations, all the things that you have to do, don't have any joy in them, then you're going to be miserable all the time. So most of what you spend your time doing is the obligatory things, right? So type 3 is very important so that when you're doing those things, you can find the joy in those moments.
Yeah.
And then type 1 is just like, I need a break. I'm going to eat a fistful of M&Ms.
Just one moment. Yes, I'll cut that out. Yeah. I've never heard of the 3 types of fun. Is this something is this your invention?
This is a Maximilian Saunders
Fantastic.
philosophical. I ought to write a book. Invention. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, you can fill a book with this.
Well, not just that. I just got a lot of philosophical ideas.
The meanderings of Sandy.
I mean, yeah, it's Maxime Saunders, the worst last name come up with in the history.
Great. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We have Betrayal performing February 13th, 14th, and 20th at 7 p.m., and then on 21st at 3 p.m. Tickets are available in the link, or you can go straight to aftontickets.com/betrayal, or you could go just find Silverstage on social media. Follow us on social media. See our posts on there and keep up with us. Follow our future updates. In May, we have our upcoming show of Gruesome Playground Injuries, also directed by Jake Heline, starring Lexi DeWitt and Daniel Hollander. Show's going to be fantastic. It's a 2-person coming-of-age drama. It takes place over the course of 30 years. So save the dates for... Well, I guess you can't save the date yet for May because we haven't announced the specific dates. Save the whole month of May.
Keep it open.
Don't schedule a thing. It's going to be 6 a.m. performances. So
I'm not going to work that month.
But get your tickets to Betrayal. They're on sale right now. And come see this man do a British accent.
Enjoy a nutty loaf of type 2 fun.
White bread.
Not white bread. No. It isn't. It's a nice. It's got seeds in it.
Yeah.
You know, a little chia. It's got some oats, and it crunches. Maybe you broke a tooth, but you know, have better dental hygiene, I guess.
I'm ending it there.